Hello there, and welcome to another episode of What Do You Call It podcast. I'm your host, GB. Usually I have a guest with me, but he's missing, not here, no idea what's happened. So, I'm still recording now, so it looks like I'm going to have to probably cancel this episode or call it a wrap instead, or, just waffling on. But it was supposed to be Prince Dean. He's a bit different, just interacting with him, on. Oh, right, he's...
Hello, my name is Prince Dean, and I am imbued with the power of the Wrestle gods.
Nice of you.
Well, it's been a few days without a booking, so I'll take this interview one.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you for coming on. Better late than never, but it's good to have you on. I'm glad the Wrestle gods have allowed you to do this interview, by the way, so thank you for your time. I know you're not an ordinary man.
Talking of time,
yeah.
Don't have enough time. And George, you kind of messed me around. So we've got 30 minutes on the clock. And whatever you ask, we don't know what's going to happen at the end of the 30 minutes. But my time is precious.
Now I'm shitting myself. Oh, right. We've got a countdown now.
It's just Coronation Street's on in half an hour.
Okay. I'm not a big fan of Coronation Street, to be honest, but if you are, or the fans are, fair play to you. I know it's still going strong. I couldn't tell you any of the characters. EastEnders maybe hit and miss, but that's just me waffling on. So
kind of old school.
Prince Dean, as you are old school, thank you for you coming on. As I said earlier, one thing I want to jump straight into is I want to review your booking graphic that you had on Instagram. Now, Prince Dean, I know you're a bit different, but that's what makes you stand out. And that's why I wanted you on the show. And I'm glad the wrestling gods have allowed you to be on here. So there's a few things I want to review. So first of all, fair play, by the way, for you getting the U in French. That's the same grade as me. And fair play to the B in textiles. Didn't do that. And I know it's quite difficult. So fair play to you, mate. And I know you're 6 foot. 173 pounds.
Yeah, the textiles.
Mm-hmm.
Textiles comes in handy with my ring gear. I have a harem of women who cut the crotch out of trousers in order to make rave chaps for me. But the rest of the ring gear I make myself, and that it's the textiles GCSE that allowed that.
And it's benefited in your wrestling career, and it's your attire is amazing, by the way. I do love it.
I'm hoping for UKPW's best dressed wrestler of the year. That's probably out of all of the awards, the one award that I could have a chance of winning.
Do you face any competition for that award? Maybe Alf Edwards might be creeping up on you for that one.
If Alf Edwards finally gets a singlet, then I think he'll be on fire in terms of dress sense, and only then, only in a singlet, will he be able to fight me off of that trophy.
I do hope I can get Alf back on the podcast and he can address this and get some fighting words for best dressed award, and hopefully we see who wins that award. Fingers crossed for you and Alf. Maybe take the advice.
He didn't even do this podcast dressed. I'm fully chapped up, full knee pads, just in case we need to go, George. Just in case you and I need to go at any moment. We've still got 27 minutes. We've still got some time to explore the man himself who I'm speaking to, Prince Dean. Don't let that distract you. I didn't in any way do that to distract you. As I said, Coronation Street's on soon.
That's fine, man. I never want to keep a Prince away from Coronation Street and his soaps. Prince Dean, I want to ask, because Prince being in your name, I want to know, why are you a prince? How did that happen? I'm not going to automatically assume royalty, but if that is the case, please let the listeners know.
I wouldn't assume royalty. I'm not a prince of the monarchy. I'm a prince of life. A prince. This power, this title, this honor was bestowed upon me by the Wrestle gods, who shone down upon me all of my life. And as you've seen, this crown, it can regenerate. I grew this crown back from my skull after a kind of fat promoter stole it and broke it. And I grew it out of my cranium with the power of the Wrestle gods. I was down on my luck without a crown. What is a prince without a crown, George? What is a prince without a crown?
Nothing, a nobody, a human being.
A nothing, nobody, human being. That's right. And I grew it out my skull, and it can regenerate. And now I'm stronger than ever.
I've seen you have gone through different crowns, but I'm glad that you have got the crown back.
It's the same crown.
Is it the same?
It regenerated. It regenerated, and it grows. It grows.
Yeah, I can see that. I wanted to see the crown, by the way. I'm glad I can see the crown. But the glasses, the heart-shaped glasses, is there a meaning behind them?
Because it's all love. People see my Instagram videos and they say, you're a natural heel. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that terminology means. You're a natural heel. It's all love. It's just to remind people that Prince Dean is all about love, and the love for the Prince Dean simps on Instagram only, not Twitter, as you found out last week.
Is there a reason why you don't want to use Twitter?
I think the people listening to the audio of this podcast, they're missing out. They're missing out on seeing, laying their eyes on Prince Dean, okay? And people reading those words, they're missing out. They're missing out, George, on laying their eyes on Prince Dean, seeing me say those words. So I'll post a video. Maybe I'll post videos where I can only say a certain amount of characters, and then it just cuts off at the end.
Yeah, no,
and I'll do that.
And you do get time limits as well for videos.
I could write the tweet like an old person, and then put the image of that tweet on Instagram.
But it doesn't have the same effect when you do on Twitter. But your videos are very powerful.
Actually, George, you froze there, and I was worried. You just
I'm still here.
I totally bamboozled you.
You did, but I'm still here. Don't worry, I will make sure you get to watch Coronation Street. Don't worry, my man. But with your content that you do produce, you say a lot of words. They're very powerful. And I want to know, why did the wrestling gods choose you? Why are you the chosen one?
1 second, my name label keeps on falling off. So you can see all the preparation of the name label. Why did the wrestle gods choose me? All my life, George, all my life, the wrestle gods, they were looking over me. They wanted to choose me. I was the only one with the neural passageway from my cranium up into the heavens, and the wrestle gods can channel and speak through that. And all my life, they understood the power that was inside of me. However, I had some difficulties in speaking to them, in communicating with them. And in a former life, some people may see the poor, decrepit, sad wrestler that I was, the kind of wrestler that would get put in a chin lock in a rumble. And I was just sad, and I couldn't communicate with them. Earlier in the year, in about May, I decided that I was missing out, George.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like a fan, and I wanted to be able to see myself wrestle. And I knew I was really upset. I was in bed for weeks because I'd never get to see me wrestle.
Yeah.
So I used a drill, and I drilled my GoPro into my head. And then I was able to see me wrestle. However, it didn't really hold there. I used the wrong rule plugs or something. And what
I did
that
see that
allowed
happening on the videos, by the way, that you did post, and that looked like quite a painful procedure. But it didn't ultimately benefit you, did it? As you just said.
No, it didn't. But you say that, but there was a benefit, and the benefit was that I drilled a hole into my skull, through into my brain, and that finally allowed the wrestle gods to speak with me.
And what did the wrestle gods say to you? If you can share on the air any memorable things.
It wasn't English. It wasn't English. That's what I know. I don't think it was. I speak many languages due to the wrestle gods. Écoutez l'ordinateur. Mandela de many languages. Okay, many languages in mostly song. And what they said wasn't English, and I don't think it was of any language. They just spoke to me in wrestling.
Yeah. And who are the wrestling gods? Do they have any names? Can you?
It's not the wrestling. It's not the wrestling gods, George.
It's the wrestle gods.
Come on, George. It's the wrestle gods. I sent you links. George. It's the wrestle gods. The wrestle gods are beings. They are not deceased wrestlers, but they have the power to send deceased wrestlers via me, and I can use their power. So the wrestle gods are that filter, are that channel. The wrestle gods send Essa Rios, Johnny Saint. Okay, they're not deceased, but that's the kind of powers that the wrestle gods channel me with.
Mm-hmm. Before the wrestle gods
so
did speak,
in any given moment, if I need technical wrestling, wrist lock, and I've channeled like someone from World of Sport. If I want to do like, he's a big man, giant haystacks, I channel that. I channel all of that. You know, Essa Rios, if I want to be on like Velocity, I would channel Essa Rios. If they still made WWF Velocity, I would channel Essa Rios.
Has there been anyone that you've not channeled yet, but that you would like to channel in the future?
Wow, that's a hard question. I mean, I should channel probably someone that gets booked. So a wrestler that gets booked a lot on a lot of shows. There's loads of people that get booked. So I would just channel someone that gets booked, really. You know,
doesn't matter what the experience is, whether they've been.
No, they don't have to be good. Yeah, don't have to really like them. They don't have to be good. It's all about, you know, getting booked and getting that money, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're in wrestling for.
I understand. I mean, it's fun to enjoy it, but it's better to get paid for what you do as well. I want to rewind the clocks a little bit. Before the Wrestle Gods did reach out to you, and I'd like to know, Prince Dean, what actually made you a wrestling fan in the first place?
I wasn't a wrestling fan. This life chose me, and it's sometimes it's difficult. It's really difficult being Prince Dean, being so ahead of my time. I was reading the other day, Christina Aguilera said her Bionic album was ahead of its time, and I know exactly how she feels, because as a wrestler, I'm so ahead of my time. I mean, about a third of my matches are just me monologuing, and that's so soon everyone will be monologuing. WWE kind of do that, but soon everyone on the indies, they'll be monologuing. They'll be putting their kind of their throats at risk rather than the whole of their bodies.
It'll be a bit like South Park did a wrestling related episode, and it's just no actual wrestling. It's just them monologuing during the whole show, but they're saying it's wrestling. If you haven't seen the episode yet,
are you saying there's no actual wrestling in my matches? I mean,
no, I'm not saying that. But when you're saying it's going to be all monologues, then it'll be wrestling as well. But when you're saying it's all monologues as opposed to wrestling, which is what's similar to South Park episode, that's what I'm saying, Prince Dean.
Okay. I want to show you something. Just when you make those kind of disparaging comments. 1 second, let me get something. Just so you see what you're dealing with, okay? Because I don't like the tone, the way this conversation kind of is going. So just so you know, I'm recording you. Okay, this is being recorded.
Hi, Wrestle Gods.
This is being recorded. The batteries run out. This is being recorded. There we go. Okay.
How's it going?
Just so you know, I'm going to put this on the internet for everyone to see. George,
thumbs up to that one. It was not me trying to be negative. I'm just following up from what you said, Prince Dean.
Okay, George.
That's all. I wouldn't disrespect any of my guests, especially one like yourself who's unique and awesome. And I'm a fan of your content. There is a match that I did see that you had recently. I won't spoil it, how it ends, because it's not been uploaded yet. But it's you against a friend of the show, Sky O'Shaw. And I'd like to know, how did you think it went? And how was Sky as an opponent? Because I thought it was quite a competitive match.
It was a very, very competitive match with Sky Unsure on the day. me and Sky up until that point had been friends, and
Mhm.
that day there was a little rat, a little weasel, and they had a change in attitude, and it was a very competitive match. I thought it was a great match in front of all of the Prince Dean simps of Bexley Heath, um, and it was great. And we had a couple of matches that day. I think there was 6 matches on the show, and me and Sky was probably in about 7 of them. There was a lot going on. I really enjoyed that match, and I love that match. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was great.
It was a fun match. The crowd was certainly behind you. I know you said earlier you don't want to be considered as a heel, but do you appreciate your fans when they cheer for you in the matches?
Yes, I mean, some people obviously uh, see something in Prince Dean and they resonate with
Yeah.
that. And then other people maybe see something and they absolutely despise me. Um, and or maybe I just get up on the wrong side of the bed or the right side of the bed um, that day. When the crowd's behind me, or if I'm feeling to take some underhand tactics, then obviously the crowd, they have their own opinions and they will
Mhm.
share it.
Do the crowd's opinions matter? I know you said like they might if they cheer or boo you, but if the fans decide to call you out, for example, if you was to cheat and they say that you didn't do it the right way, would that offend you or not?
If I didn't cheat the right way,
Well, I don't know. I
well,
don't know if there's cheating the right way or the wrong way, but maybe if you cheat the wrong
well,
way, that would maybe mean you didn't get the victory despite not doing it the right way.
yeah, I mean, really, the only person's opinion that matters is the promoter's opinion.
Hmm.
And as long as they like me and continue to hashtag book Prince Dean, that's all that matters. I suppose the audience, not so much, but the Prince Dean simps, they will always matter.
Hmm. I get
They will
that.
always
There is another person's opinion that I think would matter. Your son, 2-man day
matter.
trip.
Wait,
Um,
yeah.
your son, Cody Salu. Um, how does it feel as a prince, to wrestle with your own son? Do the wrestle gods have they approved of your son and the tag team itself, or do they prefer you as a singles?
Well, the Wrestle gods want to endorse me. They want what is best for me.
Hmm.
Cody, unfortunately, he doesn't have the neural pathways that can challenge and channel the Wrestle gods. He's not in tune with them. He never has been, but he understands that they speak to me.
Yeah.
Clearly, as the better wrestler, with a better physique, better looking, I am obviously poised with the one that will go the furthest out of both of us. It's great for me to be able to allow my son Cody to live out his dream as a hobby, and I try not to dash his hopes you know when I know he does. He there's a ceiling for him,
Hmm.
but it's great. I mean, I get all kinds of questions about Cody. One of them, people always ask, "Well, Prince Dean, you're his dad. Where's Cody's mum?" Um, and uh, and it's a bit of an exclusive for you here. Um,
I'm ready for this. I'm
I,
ready for
I
this.
yeah, no. If everyone's ready for the exclusive, we could put this on Patreon or something like. No.
You're
Okay,
right.
so
I like it.
what you need to when you hear it is Cody. He doesn't have a mum. I laid an egg, and I was like, what's this about? This is an egg, and I just sat on the egg for quite a while, and the egg hatched, and then I just see Cody with his little braids and his muscles, and he was just looking up at me, and I was like, well, I've got to take care of this, I suppose, and that's how Cody come along, and we live here in the caravan together, 2-man day trip, and we just take, it's not all about the wrestling. We'll have wrestling matches and we'll go out, raving afterwards. You know, he's always back in bed early. I'll stay out raving. That's it.
When Prince Dean is raving, what
Mm.
music does he like to hear in the clubs or the bars?
Um, like hard style is really what I like. But I was smiling. It brought a smile to my face when you asked that. At the end of every year on Spotify, when it gives you your Spotify, roundup or whatever it's called, Prince Dean is always in the top 0.5% of listeners to the dance group Scooter, and that is what Prince Dean listens to constantly.
Fair play, man. Fair Dean, Prince Dean. Fair play to you. Like Scooter, I never thought they would be ever mentioned on this podcast. I don't mind if I hear one of their tracks, but fair play to you. If there is a listener out there that is wondering what Scooter is or doesn't have any taste, as I'm sure Prince Dean would say, pause the episode quickly. YouTube them. It's a couple of songs.
Pause the episode. Why are you sending people away?
No, they'll come back once they've listened to it because I want them to reach out to you and tell you that you have good taste and let you know what their favorite tracks are. That is what I would say.
I'm just a bit distracted. This happens kind of every day, and it's a sad moment. There's a sad moment for me, and 1 second. 1 second. It's just a really sad moment, and what I want us to look at is my counter. This is how many days I have gone without a booking, and if we can just, as I have to turn it, it's about that time, as I have to turn it from 204 days without a booking. If we can just have a 1 minute silence as I turn it over.
My head's down.
So,
For anyone that is listening still,
please,
we're not disconnected.
Please, George.
Sorry, I understand. Difficult time.
Okay. Next question.
When you do get booked next, Prince Dean, where are you looking to wrestle in?
Probably WWE is the next stage. Going from UKPW, it only seems like the natural step for me. WWE.
What is it about WWE that you really want to go to? There's other companies now. AEW, Ring of Honor. Well, technically AEW and Ring of Honor together, but you get what I mean? Impact, the UK, Progress. Yeah. UKPW is...
Well, me and Cody could have a caravan each on that WWE money. I think AEW, probably like one of those, estate cars at best. But together, if I was on, Dynamite, Cody was on AEW Dark, I could probably, lend him some money to buy a caravan of his own and get out of here.
I think Cody would
appreciate You say that about bookings, but the hashtag Prince Dean or Book Prince Dean movement, I think we had it trending. There was about 3 people who done that, and it got me a booking. It got me a booking. So there you go. It's all whoa. It's going swell.
When the episode does come out, I will use the hashtags to promote your bookings. That will be coming to you, which I'm looking forward to the outpour that's going to come out to this, because it's been over 200 days, and I'm shocked to see that.
205, yeah.
It's a travesty. It's criminal that you've not been booked for so long.
Yeah. And it's even more of a travesty when I am booked and when I can reset the counter to 0. Of all people, I'm facing Mean Tea. Ugh, meme team. Oh God.
I know
Oh
one half
God.
of Mean Team.
Do you know meme or the
Best
team?
me. I know Meme, but I've had one of the
You know
team
the team.
on as a guest as well. Adonis Payne.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one. I think he's got a sword. He carries a sword
He does.
into a wrestling match.
Loves the
Yeah,
Spartans.
they've both threatened to beat me up and rob me.
Just when things couldn't get any worse without the bookings. Now you're getting threatened by the Meme Team.
I can't even turn the electricity on. That's why I'm sitting in the dark, not to seem ominous. Not to seem ominous.
Can
I
the
would
Wrestle
like to.
Gods not provide electricity while they're reaching out to you?
They can only provide wrestling, and they can't provide fuel, George.
I get that. But the feel once you do get the more bookings and you beat the Meme
Yeah.
Team, even though I'm undecided because, one, I like Adonis Payne, but I am enjoying speaking to you as well. So I don't want to
Mm.
pick any sides. But as I do come to the end, because I know we've got a few minutes, I know I shouldn't be focusing on it, but Coronation Street is important as well to you. And I'm sure there's probably a
Mm-hmm.
few listeners that like the show. So I'm going to end the show with one question. My famous question. It's dream dinner guests. So you get to pick 3 guests. You cannot pick the Wrestle Gods though. And you can't pick yourself.
And I can't pick
You
myself.
cannot pick yourself. So you get to
It's a
pick 3
difficult.
guests, past or present, whoever you want there. You're the host. 3 guests. Give me a reason as to why you want them there. And
Wow,
you
this
can't pick
is a well
yourself.
famous. I can't pick myself. This is a well famous question. I've heard about this from all of the wrestlers. So I think it's a really difficult situation, but it it just springs to mind instantly. People. You know, these people have a lot of integrity and honesty, and people I can really look up to in the wrestling world. And I think we just need a lot more kind of people like this in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So I would invite 3 wrestling promoters so that I can speak to them about booking Prince Dean.
I like this. I really like this. Who are going to be the 3 promoters? Is it going to be Vince? Well, obviously he's not around anymore. So would it be Triple H at the top of
Oh,
the guest?
no, don't be silly. It'd probably be from some camp shows or something.
Mm.
Ones that are actually going to book me. Yeah, so camp show bookers, those ones. I'm on my last like £5 from my last booking.
If just sort of speaking to you like with the Wrestle Gods, I'm glad they bring you such enthusiasm and joy. I see it in your videos, and I enjoy your matches. But I want, if any listeners, if you've got a spare quid or two, please reach out to Prince Dean. If they do want to reach out to you, where can they do this?
Yes, on Insta, where the Prince Dean simps are, at it's Prince Dean, not it's at Prince Dean, at symbol it's Prince Dean. I know it's confusing. It's confusing, George.
I'll try
George
not to
B.
confuse listeners. I'll put the actual handle in the description below. And if any, not just to follow you and not just to keep up with your wrestling career and your return, because it's been over 200 days. Astonishing, criminal, disgusting. Promoters, camp bookers, get Prince Dean booked. The Wrestle Gods are already doing what they can. You do your part. And listeners,
Well, I'm doing the Wrestle God's work. I'm
you
doing
are.
the Wrestle God's work. Mm,
You are, mate.
mm.
You are. Is there anything you'd like to promote or share, or even a message that you want to share to the listeners? Now's your chance as we are at the end of the interview.
We've already promoted Insta, where the Prince Dean simps are. So become a Prince Dean simp by following that. Because why not? Why not, George B? What was the other question?
Is there anything you'd like to say? Any messages or anything you want to direct maybe to the Meme Team? Up to you, mate. Now is your chance.
No.
You're lost for words? You haven't been for the last 30 minutes. So I'm quite shocked by that. I'm very shocked by that.
not lost for words. I have nothing to say to the mean team. You're going to coax it out of me. You want some fighting talk, don't you, George?
No. Well, I mean, as the countdown in the corner behind you says, you've got a minute left. So say what you got to say, mate. You got to tell them that you're going to, kick their asses. Then let them know.
I always like the meme team.
Mm-hmm.
They seem fun, and they've changed their attitude recently, attempting to turn to the left-hand path. And, they threaten me. They're going to beat me up. They're going to beat my son up. And it's just not right. They threatened to rob me. They threatened to steal my crown, which has already been done. And regenerated. Why? When I see the meme team in front of their garage, and it looks like GCSE drama, and they're trying to threaten me, it just looks to me that the big one, the meme, he's puppeteering the other two.
Yeah.
Because he's got their hand. He's got their hands up his ass and his hands up their ass.
Fighting words, good timing. Prince Dean, I won't keep you on for any longer because I know Comedy Street is about to start and I don't want to keep you away, even for the intro. So thank you for coming on. I'll put your Instagram handle in the description below so the listeners can follow you on Instagram, and I know you're not elsewhere. So thank you for coming on. Shout out to the Wrestle Gods. Everyone, if you can stay up to date with my social media handles, which are also in the description below, that would be much appreciated. I do have more content coming out this week, so keep an eye out for that. And he's already gone. So, so if you have listened to this just by audio, I would highly advise going back and watch this. The episode's different to what I'm used to, so I suppose that's good. And I'd say also follow Prince Dean and keep up to date with him and hear what he has to say. His videos are really good. So for now, everyone, take care. Peace. Hello there. I've got a special announcement from our next guest.
Hi, I'm Tig, and you're listening to What Do You Call It podcast.
That incredible guy. You heard.